morning, everyone. My name is Karla, and you have reached my FlossTube channel, KarlaBeingCrafty, where I talk about mostly cross stitch, but also other crafts that I enjoy, which lately has been a little bit of crochet and some little golden book junk journaling, or creating little golden book junk journals, so paper craft, and also a little bit of life thrown in. So today is my FlossTube number 104, not 104, it's 204. Wow, 204, and it is Sunday, August 27th. I am getting a little bit of a late start this morning. Did not have a great night's sleep. My poor baggy cat had a cough in the middle of the night and woke himself up, woke me up. Then he had some sort of little hairball situation. Let's just say it wasn't a good night, and I'm definitely going to be taking a nap later today because I am tired. But anyway, I do want to say welcome. If this is your first time finding my channel, I hope that you like what you see. You want to hit like and subscribe and all that good stuff. You guys know the drill. And if it is not your first time finding my channel, if you are one of my regular viewers who comes back week after week, thank you so much for being here and spending this time with me. It means so much, and it just really, this is the highlight of my week. And then getting your comments and seeing views and stuff like that is just, it keeps me going for the rest of the week. Weather, I always do a little weather report here in Southern California. It is hot and sunny today, and you know, we had all that rain last Sunday because of the tropical storm, and it did bring the temp down just a bit for a couple days, but now it is on the way back up. It's supposed to be in the hundreds by the middle of the week. I'm not looking forward to that. So it's supposed to stay pretty hot for at least the next, 10-day forecast, and hopefully it'll start cooling off soon because I just don't like it when it's this hot. I do have two Zooms scheduled for September. I guess I'm trying to make up for not doing one in July when I was sick, but I figured since we do have a 3-day weekend coming up for Labor Day here in the US, which is Monday, September 4th, that I would schedule a Zoom that day. And I think instead of stitching, on that particular day, I might actually work on my little golden books. So I'll be doing some paper crafting during that particular Zoom. So the 2 dates to write down, and all of the information and the codes and stuff are in the description box. So Monday, September 4th at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then we'll do kind of like a regularly scheduled Zoom on Saturday, September 23rd at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So hopefully you guys will be able to join. It's always fun to just get together and hang out with like-minded crafty people. You don't have to do stitching. You don't have to do anything. I've had people who are stitching, people who crochet, people who are knitting, people who are quilting, people who are cleaning their house, folding laundry, exercising, or just sitting there and enjoying the conversation. So really, whatever you want to do is 100% fine. Just join and schmooze with us. So I hope to see a bunch of you there. Okay. So, not that it's an elephant in the room, but I do have to mention, I think I did mention last week when I was talking about my birthday and birthday gifts, that I got a call from my niece Reagan, and she said that she had something that was winging its way to me that was just from her, although Mom paid for it, but it was just from Reagan, and I did get it on Monday morning and opened it, and it is the lovely t-shirt that I am wearing. So, of course, I opened it, I'm like, that's so cute, and she's like, do I have to explain it to you? And I'm like, okay, go ahead. And she's like, it's the Taylor Swift Eras Tour t-shirt with cats. So let me lower the camera a little bit so you can see the whole thing. Since for t-shirt purposes, my face isn't as important. But hopefully you can see all of the cute little Swifty cats. And so I gotta say, it's the cutest darn t-shirt, and the fact that it's from my niece just makes it 100% more special. So thank you, Reagan, for that. You have excellent taste. I think she found it on Amazon and had to get it for me because she knows I'm a cat girl. So anyway, so that is a birthday gift that I got a little bit after my birthday. And then in other birthday news, I am going out to dinner next Friday with, I always call him my little brother. He's one of my brother's best friends from high school, and I've known him since he was, I think, a freshman. And then when my first directing in community theater was actually not in community theater, it was at the high school. I had already graduated, and my brother was in a play, and what had happened is our longtime theater teacher had sort of retired from the theater department. She was still teaching English at the school, but she wasn't teaching theater, and this happened while my brother was actually in school. So they had done a show, or they were going to do a show, I think when he was a sophomore or junior, and the show got canceled. And the next year, a young new teacher came in and was the theater teacher, and the kids who were still at the school who were in theater wanted to do that show again for their first show that year. And the teacher was very willing to be like the advisor, but she's like, I can't direct it because Miss Stevens originally directed it and she's still at the school. I feel very uncomfortable. So if you guys can get a director, then we can do that show. So I happened to be driving my brother home from school that day. Again, I was out of school, or I was at college, and because I'm 5 years older than my brother. So he was talking about it with his friend, and I'm like, I could direct it. And I kind of like tossed it off, and he's like, would you? And I'm like, oh yeah, I guess I could. And the rest is history. I ended up directing community theater for 25 years, 30 years, something like that. But anyway, so that was the very first show I directed, was at the high school level, but I was not in high school. The teacher who was, the advisor, she was there all the time. And she very generously gave me her stipend that she would normally get for, directing the play. She gave it to me, so I was actually paid for it. And one of the great things that happened is my brother met this guy, Greg, who has been one of his best friends for all of these years. And Greg's mom and my mom came down to help with the sets, and they became super good friends. I was super, super close to his mom. We always joked that she wasn't old enough to be my mom. So she was not a second mom. She was like an older sister to me. And in fact, I was working in a jewelry store at that point, and for one of the Christmases that we all spent together, I got her one of those, break apart charms that said Big Sis and Little Sis. And yeah, so Sandy was very special. Unfortunately, we lost her to cancer many years ago now. But Greg has always been a special person in our lives. I always considered him sort of a little brother, and he sent me a birthday card, he and his wife, and I was like, I've been really terrible about connecting with people lately, but, I miss you guys. And they're like, let's go out to dinner for your birthday. Long story short, we're going out next Friday. So that's really exciting. Yeah, so the birthday festivities continue. They actually will continue into September because my brother's going to be out here for a work thing, and I will get to go out to dinner with my brother to one of our favorite restaurants, and I told him he's taking me out for my birthday. So yeah, so I will get to see my brother in, I think September 20th is when he's coming out. So let's see what else happened this week. I did put up another counter cooking video on Wednesday. It was one of my favorite recipes, brothy beans, and I hope you guys who are interested try it, because I love it. I think it's such an easy recipe, and it's just so tasty. And actually today it's kind of inspired me, and I'm going to try sort of a variation on the brothy beans. I have another bag of not Great Northern beans, but I have a bag of navy beans, and I think I'm going to try and make sort of like a spicy, I'm going to put jalapenos in it and maybe a beef broth base instead of chicken, and we'll see, how bad could it be? If it's awful, I won't eat it. I'll throw it away. If it's great, then it's another inexpensive, nutritious, very easy to make meal that actually makes a couple meals because then I put half of it in the freezer. So right now I have a thing of brothy beans. I actually have a thing of chili, which I made this week, that someone else inspired me to make. They commented on my brothy beans video that they were making white chicken chili or something that day, and I couldn't get chili on my head, so I actually came home. I stopped at the store, got a package of meat, and I had all the other ingredients, and I made chili in the Instant Pot that night. So I have a container of chili, a container of brothy beans, a container of soup that I made, and after today I'll have another container of spicy navy beans if they're good. So yeah, so I won't have to cook for like a week because I'll just take something out of the freezer every night. But anyway, I am enjoying doing those counter cooking videos, so I'm very glad that a significant group of you guys seem to enjoy them, and I have no intentions of stopping doing that. I have a whole big list of things that I could share with you, you know, my easy, cooking and recipes, which are very much just like throw a couple things here and, but sometimes all you need is just like a little inspiration and ideas of what to do with the ingredients you have. And it doesn't matter that it's not difficult. It's just the idea that, oh, I never thought of putting those two flavors together, and there you go. Next week though, there will not be a counter cooking extra video because I did a video yesterday, kind of revisiting all of my full coverages. I kind of went back and I watched the video that I did about 4 years ago on stitching on my full coverage and the diagonals and the parking, and that also is like the method, but I realized that I have had a bunch of just changes in the way I do things in the last 4 years, so I kind of talked about that, and I showed all of the full coverages that I currently have on the go. At that time it was 2, and they finished both of them. Now I have like 6. So yeah, so that will go up Wednesday. I think that's it as far as preamble. We can get into looking at some of the crafts that I did this week, the projects, and yeah, we'll see. Maybe it'll be a shorter video, although I always say that and then it turns out to be the same because I talk too much. Okay, so I did do a tiny bit of crochet this week. As I said, I showed Reagan my scrunchie, and she said that she would like 1 or 2 or 5, so I did make her one. She wanted pink. This is like what I had that was closest to pink. I realized that the elastic that I did it on, because they were newer ones, is a little bit smaller. So I'll have to see. Maybe I didn't do as many, like I maybe should have crocheted a little bit more because it's not looking quite as scrunchy-ish as it could, but hopefully she'll be able to use this. I'm going to pop it in the mail soon and send that to her. And then the other thing, I told you last week that I was waiting for some yarn because I had a project that I had in mind. So I saw this on, I don't know if it was Instagram or whatever. It's been everywhere, these strawberry stitch. And I had some green yarn. It's a Ferris wheel, a Lion Brand Ferris wheel. And I thought the green, that would be good green for this project, but I needed a red because it's strawberry stitch, right? So the stitch makes like the strawberries with their little green things. So the red I chose because I love the Caron Super Soft so much, or Simply Soft, is I got a Caron Simply Soft, but I got the Party, which has a little sparkle to it, because I can't just do straight colored, I always have to do something. So these are the 2 yarns that I'm using for this stitch. And then, so I thought I would make some kind of a shawl thing or a wrap, and I just kept doing a chain because I wanted to make it nice and long and able to wrap. So I don't know, it may be way too huge when it's done, I have no idea. But this is the strawberry stitch, and I think it's gonna be more obvious as it gets bigger. But basically you stitch, so on the red part you're stitching 5 double crochets in one hole, And then when you go back with the green, you're stitching 5, how did they call it? 5, so you do 5 stitches, but you keep the loops on the crochet hook and then you pull them through 1. So basically with the strawberry, you're stitching out like this, and with the green, the tops, you're stitching like that, and it ends up making sort of a little bobble thing that looks like a strawberry. So, and as you go, obviously the strawberries will become more pronounced. I only have 2 rows right now, so anyway, so I made it super long, and I don't know how thick it'll be. I have 3 skeins, 3 balls of this red yarn, and we'll see how white it is when I get done with 3 balls, and that might be it, or I might be forced to get some more, but I don't know. So that was the crocheting that I did this week. I started that strawberry. So now I have 3 garments that are all started. I'm bad about wanting to start new things, even with the crochet. Okay, so that was the crochet this week. I didn't do any little golden book stuff. And the rest, oops. The rest of my craft time, excuse me while I get this yarn back in the bag. See my cat bag. This is one of the things I got when I was getting the cat lady boxes, which I'm not getting this year because money, but I kind of miss them. The rest of what I did, of course, was stitching. So one thing that was interesting is because I did the video on full coverage yesterday, is I pulled out Village Bookstore, which has been on my inactive list, and suddenly I was like, I really like this. I should stitch on it again. So I think it's coming off the inactive list because I did work on it last week, yesterday, all day. So this is my one, like, truly full size, big, full coverage. So I have the thing that says, so this is by Randall Spangler. I'm just looking to see if I have the thing that says what it is. It's 450 by 635, which actually I guess is the same size as my Let Sleeping Dragons Lie. So I don't know why I feel like this is so much bigger, although this is on a bigger count fabric. So this is Village Bookstore by Randall Spangler. And one of the reasons that, I mean, when I first started stitching, I saw this and loved it. And it has something like 15 little cats. And they're all, I don't know if you want to say that they're hidden, but I mean, some of them, oh, you know what? I'm lying. This is Rose Trellis Inn. This is the other one. Sorry. I'm like, wait a minute. That's not right. I have a picture of Village Bookstore over here. And unfortunately, I need to see if I can find another picture of this, because this one I marked up. Rose Trellis Inn is the other one I have, but this is Village Bookstore. And all of those little red circles are hidden cats. So some of them are obvious, right? There's cats sitting here and there and everywhere, but some of them are like peeking out behind a bush, or there's one that's up in this tree that you can, you know, it's just kind of like the shadow. This one is behind a curtain. So there's like 15. There's one animal right here that I think is a squirrel, but it's huge. So it's a cat-sized squirrel. And then there's a jagling down here, and there's a little bird up there. It's just really adorable. Now the problem, if you want to call it a problem, with this is that because it is such a big project, it's going to take forever to get anywhere. I got a huge hoop for this. This is when I was using like stands and stuff. And I kept thinking, like, I don't want it on a small thing because I don't know. So I got this ginormous hoop. But I was working on it yesterday and I was still able to do it. Part of it, I think the problem that I was having is I just had no idea how to wrangle all this fabric. which is still an issue. But anyway, that's where I'm at with it. You can see I got like half of this diagonal done, and I'm still up in the sky area where it's a lot of black and blue sky and nothing too exciting yet. But I'm gonna have to pull this off of the inactive list because now I decided I want to work on it again. And so it'll go back into the rotation and definitely be worked on in January because that's when I'm doing all my full coverages, and then we'll see when I can plug it in. And because this is on, again, such a huge hoop, and I don't want to take it on and off the hoop and everything, it's basically in a big pillowcase. Okay, so that is Village Bookstore, which is now off the inactive list. Aside from that, I also worked on Let Sleeping Dragons Lie this week, which is not really on my theme list, but I was in a mood, you know, and although I have the themes, they're more like a guide rather than a rule. And I do tend to be the tiniest bit, you know, sweetie. It's just that I use my themes as sort of a guide. And I guess now looking at Village Bookstore, I thought Village Bookstore is so huge, and you know, this one is just as big. So I have two, apparently full size. Sleeping Dragons Lie. I'm in this bottom corner. I'm still just in the green, so nothing very exciting yet. And this, because I'm doing it bottom up, you can see that I got that much of that diagonal done. So it'll be very exciting when I hit the teeniest bit of the dragon and I'm working on like something that's blue or turquoise instead of the green. Oops. Okay. Then what else did I work on this week? I worked on my black cat bag. This is my black cat birthday sal that I chose for this year, and it is this, which is, I know, not a great picture because it's black and white, but it is this black cat that I'm putting on this Target bag that I got 4 years ago. It's the last one, and it's finally going to be a bag for me. So that's where I am on that one. Okay, let's see, what else did I work on this week? I worked on Frog Bouquet. Which is Designworks. This is a companion piece to Frog Dancer that I did last year. And I did a bunch more on her skirt. And then went up into like the arms and stuff a little bit. And I did a little bit of a cleaning up of my desk area yesterday. And I found the lily pads that I bought, which are going to be the finishing for these two pieces. I showed you guys these last year, but I knew last time I mentioned them, I had no idea where they are. So I got these lily pads. These are actually meant to float like in a pond, but I'm going to use them as a background for these pieces. Not exactly sure how yet. Maybe I will incorporate them I have some canvases here. I have some canvases. These are like pre-stretched canvases. So I don't know, maybe I will find some way to like attach the lily pads to the canvases, maybe paint the canvases or something, attach the lily pads, and then mount the piece. Not sure yet, but I got enough lily pads to be able to work for both of the pieces. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I worked on my sampler of HAED this week, which is by Jardin Privé. It is really my only like true sampler with all of the alphabets and stuff. And I love this one, although I'm really not a sampler person. I might, you know, kind of keep it out and stitch on it next month because it's sampler September, but I do want to get this done by the end of the year. So hopefully that will happen. It's close enough that I think that can happen. I'm stitching this on a 20 count Aida with Sulky blendables, or the main one is a blendable, and then I have 2 accent colors. So the purple for the cats, and then the rose color for all the little fish and mice and hearts and stuff. So this week I finished, I finished a few letters in this row, and then this little lace thing had to be finished, and then I started another row of alphabet, and I think that mouse. So I would say, what is that, like 2/3 done? So I do think that this could get finished this year. And that is Sampler au Chat by Jardin Privé. I keep this one in this bag that I got from the niece and nephews for Valentine's Day a couple years ago. And I love it. Plus it's roses, so it reminds me of my mama. And then last but not least was my HDbKBC piece this year, or this week. This is my HDbKBC piece, regardless, which is the prayer for healing. That I started this piece in honor of Julie's mom stitching at the cabin, and watch their latest video because they actually kind of put a sal with it so that you can post pictures of your progress, which I haven't done yet. And her mom is looking at that and extremely touched. It was really sweet. She kind of wrote a little note to everybody who's stitching in honor of her, and it was really sweet. But anyway, I started this in honor of Julie's mom, but then I realized, like, we need a HDbKBC piece all the time because, you know, I need to think about the people, including myself, that aren't feeling well or need mental healing or respite or whatever. And so that's what this piece is dedicated to. So it is my HDbKBC piece. I think about the prayer every time I stitch on it, and the people that I'm wishing health and healing and renewal of body and renewal of spirit, which is part of the little song. So this is a Bella Filipina Phoenix Queen. I just think the sentiment of the piece works so well with the sentiment that I want to think about while I'm stitching on it. And there we go for right now. So again, this is her skirt. Doesn't look like anything yet because I haven't gotten into anything that looks like body parts. But it's growing, and it is, the colors I just love on this fabric. Again, this fabric is, this is a Dying for Cross Stitch. It's called Moss Dark. I've noticed on my computer it looks fine. On my TV it looks way harsher, more like neon yellowy, and it isn't. It's like a rich green, a rich olivey green, and the reds and pinks and oranges of the piece really pop off of it nicely. Okay, and that is it as far as my stitching and my crafting this week. So yeah, so I have teeny bit of a haul, if you want to call it that. I did get my October just cross stitch. I don't know how long I'm going to be getting these magazines for. I think I put in like a 2-year order, and I don't know how long ago. So I'm getting them. Of course, I think I'm going to end up getting the Christmas, ornament thing. I don't know if that's part of the subscription, which for me is useless. I would love to get the Halloween one, but of course that's separate. The Halloween one this year looks really good, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to, I don't know if I'm going to go ahead and put in the money for it. I didn't get it last year, although I got it like the 3 years prior to that. But there's a lot of cute things in here. They have, yeah, there's a lot of cute like pumpkin, and so I do hold on to these magazines, and I think I'll get to a point at some point where, I want to start, and I'm going to go through the magazines and find something fantastic. So, and then the other thing I got is, I know I showed you last week, very into the reverse coloring book, and I got the 3 that were by the original person, Kendra something. I can't see it right now, but then I was looking online and I saw this one, and I decided to go ahead and take a chance. And so this is a gnomes reverse coloring book. It was relatively inexpensive. It was about between $8 and $9. I don't know if I love it, only because the pictures are so cute, but they're so fully done already. I don't know if, so like here's one that's not done. So that's how it is just in the book. And then I did do one where I added the black lines to it. So this is one that I completed. So, I mean, I like it. It was fun to do, but I don't know if I like it as much as the ones that are a little bit more freeform in the original reverse coloring books I've got. I think that I like it kind of in the middle. So like this is a little bit where the picture's too done. And I mean, it's fun to do the outlining and stuff, and I like the result, but it's not quite as fun as the more freeform. The ones that are completely like abstract, I don't like as much because it takes a lot more like artistic ability that I don't feel like I have. So I like the ones that are more in the middle, where it looks like a flower bouquet, but not exactly, and I have to decide how I'm going to do the flowers. But I did, as I said, I did enjoy doing this one, and the pictures are super cute. So I'm going to enjoy outlining and adding the lines and details to all of these. Yeah, there's some really cute ones. And I always think of Laura stitching at the shore whenever I see gnomes now. Although she says she's not a gnome person, but she's stitching like a bunch of them. And they're so cute. So that was basically all of my haul. Plans, basically continuing on my path. We're gonna hit September before next video, so it will be September already. And my September theme is going to be flora and fauna, which is basically, I think I'm gonna pull out all of my like fairies, like the sweet pea fairy, like the floral fairies I have, sweet pea fairy and autumn equinox pixie, and then I have my floral projects, and then the animal things. So I think all the birds and stuff that I have going, those all come out for September. And then in October, it'll be more like the witches and my All Hallows Eve piece, which maybe I can get done this year, but I don't know. I keep saying that, and then I don't get close, and I'm like, yeah, it's fine, I'll do it next year. So yeah, so that's the plans I have. I'm at the end. I don't have a lot to talk about, and we're only like 35 minutes in, so this is a short one today. It's short and sweet, I hope. But anyway, until I see you again, well, before I do that, let me see. Oh, don't forget to keep an eye out for the video on Wednesday, all about all of my full coverages. I mean, you've seen them all, but I do talk about some of the differences and things that I've changed, things I've kept the same in the last 4 years, and it was kind of fun to make, and it made me excited to work on Village Bookstore again, so that's something. So yeah, I'm going to take a long nap today, I think. Hopefully the video will upload quickly, and until I see you guys again, please remember to be content, be kind, and be crafty. This is Karla. Bye-bye.